starting the recording.
What up, boys and girls? It's another episode of World 1-1 Podcast. I am your host, as always, Larry, the lusciously bearded wonder. Joining me is my partner in crime, Eddie Steady Go.
Hello, everybody.
And Corey looks like he's strung a little tight on the headphones in high def. Derek.
Yeah, they're, okay, so basically, the short version is the game room is pretty much a hot mess right now, and I had to take my computer off the floor and put it up onto a shelf, and I'm, like, straining the headphones, so...
It was horribly improvised, but it's all I could focus on is just looking at your headphones look like they're trying to pull off your face.
Yeah,
like, we don't want to be here, damn it.
Pretty much, yep. I'm not going to argue with you there. It's, So...
His headphones know that this show is not of good quality, and they want out of this shit.
Wow.
No, well, these are the Zelda ones I got with my Switch, and like what I should really do is get a new pair of headphones because I can literally only hear both of you out of my right ear. Because they're like the crappy ones that PDP put out, and like I was like, oh, well, they're Zelda. I want them for my Switch, and guess what? Only one ear hole works. Ever since I got them, they only work it. So
yeah, I only trust Sony with my headphones.
Yeah, so, yeah, but I'm here. I got a new gift.
What did you... Let's see.
Video version, guys. Go click over to the YouTube page. You can see exactly what I'm holding up.
Tell all the people listening to the audio.
Excited. I received a gift from my parents for getting a new job, and they bought me this Blue Yeti microphone. And it's literally blue, and it makes me really happy. I still don't know if I'm louder or softer or both.
You are. You need to back from the microphone a little bit.
Okay, sorry.
There you go. That's better. It's better. We can't hear you. It's perfect.
Oh, now I see how it is. But yeah, I've been trying to mess around with this the last day and a half, and then me and my wife decided to move our whole apartment around today, so the game room looks like hot trash, because this is where we put everything when we don't know where it goes. So,
yep. Our rooms are always the first to go.
Yeah.
You'll learn that real fast.
Yeah. Well, so that's going to be my job this week, is cleaning up this game room and making it look like it's a functional human being walks in here instead of like, I don't know, somebody raided the place. So
that's why I'm so glad not to be having kids. Yes.
So Corey, what have you been playing this week? Tell me all about it. I need to know.
Dude, I mean, look, I have been playing a lot. So basically, again, why my computer is up on a table instead of on the floor is I've been trying to stream stuff and record stuff for the YouTube channel besides just the podcasts and the bonus shows and stuff. And that's pretty much what I've been doing. I've played a bunch of Super NES Classic, a bunch of NES Classic, and Ed watched me and made fun of me the whole time. Because I was playing Mega Man X and I got in the giant mech.
Why was I not invited to this shit show?
Everyone's invited.
You didn't tell me any of this shit was going on.
I just told Ed to make sure my audio quality was okay.
Right.
Because I needed to know.
It was a test run.
Yeah, it was a test run. And then the next day I played a bunch of Switch games. Bayonetta has been my main focus lately. And then Celeste, that game is getting frustrating to me. I'm grinding my way through the wind level right now. I think it's like the 5th level. I don't know. Judging by
level, 3rd level.
I don't know. It might be the 3rd level. Might be the
That's
4th
where
level.
I'm at because it's the start of the mountain, the hotel, and then the wind.
Yeah, okay, then it's the 3rd level. I don't know. I don't know how far I am because some people are saying this game takes like 4 hours to beat, maybe, and I'm like almost 3. So I'm like, well, I probably have at least 4 more hours to go because I suck so bad. So
I say I probably got at least 4 hours worth of deaths.
yeah, dude, I think my death count is in the 500s already.
Wow.
It's really bad. So, but other than that, not really much of like anything meaty. Mostly just a bunch of games to try to test out the OBS and the streaming stuff. So, I did play a lot of N++ this week also, though.
Yeah?
That game so much. I love it so much. I love it so much. I love it so much.
N+.
It's so good. It
It
makes
is.
me so happy. So, but yeah, that's kind of all I've been playing. I don't really have anything new to talk about. Bayonetta is really good, though. Just want to point that out. Bayonetta is really good. If you haven't picked it up, you should pick it up. If you own a Switch or a Wii U, you should pick it up. It's good.
I've got it on Wii U where I actually have both games on a physical hard copy.
Nice. So do I. Air 5
None of this
and 5.
Switch download code half and half bullshit that needs
Yeah,
to
why are we the
stop.
only region that didn't get a physical copy of 1?
Because it's horseshit.
Because Japan got the Climax Edition, and
Yeah,
I think
they-
Europe got the Climax Edition, and they both come with physical copies of 1.
Probably because it was easier, cheaper for America than it is in
What?
Japan.
Yeah, well, I don't
Then
want.
why would they do it there?
I want collections. Okay.
We are willing to pay money for this shit. Just give it to us. This is Legacy Edition for Samus Returns all the fuck over again.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm
but Europe, like they're a big Sony kind of fan base in Europe, so they got to kind of put those kind of editions out to get people to buy more Nintendo products. So that's
Eddie,
why
you sound like a Europe apologizer.
I'm just saying, but that's why. That's why Europe always get those special editions. Plus, they get also the delays. So, they use that so they could get the game. They could get sales for it. In Japan, they're bigger in collecting than we are here, because those special editions, they'll pay more for them to have.
Well, Eddie, tell me what's been spinning in your disc tray this week.
Doom for Xbox One. I got 5 more levels to go. I just got the BFG. I guess it's like a classic weapon.
Yes,
for the
it is.
Doom series. Right now, I paused it and then I stopped it because I had something to do. But I'm close to getting to the end. By the looks of it, with 5 more levels, I'm probably got like 4 more hours to do, and then I'll be done with the game, depending on how long the battles are and how long I can survive them. Been doing some of the rune trials. I'm missing 5 of them right now, and one of them I skipped. I didn't do because my shield level is not up yet, and I kind of need that shield in order to stay alive, to beat it. Because like if my shield is not there and I get hit, I'm dead. It only gives you like 1 health point for it. So doing that, played Tomb Raider, the definitive edition. It just looks so beautiful still to this very day. So, I
forgot that we played that.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I think on this playthrough, I'm going to try to get everything. It's because it's been a while since I played it, and I kind of want to go back. I want to go back and I want to do my best to unlock everything for all my weapons and for all my skills, and try to collect all the collectibles and try to like really 100% this game. So really enjoyed that. I was going to jump into DMC Devil May Cry, but due to work purposes, I had to go to bed, so I couldn't play. I was really ready to play that game, and I think I'm just going to try to do it on extra hard, like give myself a really good challenge. Because every time I play like on normal, I just blow through the game with quickness. So I kind of want to make the enemies harder, and work on like some new combo skills to survive. Kind of really want to challenge myself in that. Play Infamous Second Son. Game looks beautiful. I'm still at the beginning of the game. Every time I play that, I get to one point, get to the city, and then I stop playing it. So I want to get back into there. I really haven't touched Monster Hunter in a while, and I need to touch that, and Yakuza I need to touch. Monster Hunter Stories for 3DS. Got back into that, really enjoying that game, getting further. And then Bayonetta 2 for Switch. I played. I'm halfway done with that game. I just got into Inferno, so I got to get to where once I fight this demon or this witch, and Rodin comes in and beat the snot out of her. Maybe I could get my, I think that's when I get the whip, and stuff. But, right now.
Which stage do you get the Nene?
You get the Nene, like, that's bonus DLC that you have to pay, or if you got the,
Is that a $5 microtransaction?
Yes, it is. No, it's
Speaking of microtransactions, by the way, did you see that Konami is charging $10 per save slot for Metal Gear?
I think they announced that Wednesday or Thursday. I know I see that on the know.
I don't think they announced it. I think someone just found out by playing.
Well, it became a news story because, like I said, I watched the know. So they reported on that news story that it was $10 to save, and I'm like, wait, when the heck did this happen? Because I was watching the Game Informer talking about the game and their experience with it. And then next thing you know,
let me tell you how much I cannot wait for tomorrow's Jimquisition to hear him rip on that.
He probably had to record another one, because I wonder if he had something planned, and then when this came out, he'll
probably add it to the back end as a fuck Konami segment, as he's been doing for years now.
Probably so, because I know he normally said that he sometimes has his stuff like wrapped and produced like by that Thursday or Friday, getting ready for like next week.
There's no way he lets this go without ripping on it, though. No way.
Oh no! I think this is probably.
This is prime for a fuck Konami segment, which we haven't had in a while, and I really miss that.
I literally wrote on someone's Twitter page just like, well, let's just be glad this is something EA won't do, because this is the most insane thing of 2018. I don't think anything could top the craziness.
If you stopped it was just the most insane thing, I'd have said you're wrong, because at that point I could point to World of Tanks going, you have to buy ammo.
Well, that's not that's not new.
There's been
some other games that did
ammunition. Like buy the round. That's when we finally officially went too fucking far. But
yeah,
of 2018, this is definitely the height of the scam so far.
But a save state, like.
Yeah.
Like, how many, like, who going to just overwrite your first save? It's just start over. Well, it depends on who's all playing it, because I'm like, $40 for the game itself. Like, that's, yeah. But,
yeah, what if you got like 3 people in the house playing?
Well, they better have their own PlayStations or Xbox Ones.
Yeah. Well, maybe. I don't know.
Man, I don't get it. I don't like. Look, I was about to like. Okay, they're selling this game at $40. People are saying like, yeah, maybe the Metal Gear Heart and Soul is gone, but the gameplay loop is fun. And I was about to be like, okay, $40 for a spin-off Metal Gear that's not made by Kojima. Maybe they're actually trying. And then I saw this. I'm like, Never mind.
But you know what? It's what
No, they're trying.
It's,
They're trying to make money.
I think it's not the developers, the people who actually made the game. I think it's the CEOs and stuff, the business people who made.
Oh yeah,
the
I'm not blaming the studio. I'm blaming the publishing arm of this because like
The dev team just got EA'd.
Pretty much.
They got visceral.
Pretty much.
They totally got visceral.
And
well, at least they got to put their game out first, I guess.
And this is kind of sad because Konami was on a good roll with Super Bomberman R, regardless of how you viewpoint that.
One game is not a roll.
But
Wait, to be fair, Super Bomberman R is not a great game, and they sold it for $50.
It's not. It may not be a great game, but it did good sales, and some people quite enjoyed it.
Oh, I know people enjoy it. Like I know people who bought Switch for Street Fighter and Bomberman and not Zelda. So I mean,
I kind of feel bad for the people that bought it, that bought the Street Fighter that's already out with the new collection coming out. Because I'm just like, I don't know why the fuck I would touch that.
That's Capcom.
That's Street Fighter though. The Final Challengers or whatever is pretty good though. I mean, it's. I mean, I know you can buy it for like $15 on every other system ever, but it's still like a good version of the game. It's not like it's crappy.
I'm not saying it's not, but I'm saying that for like the same price, I'm going to get like 12 Street Fighter games.
Well, yeah, I think this one was kind of unexpected.
I'm like, there is a clear better value here.
True.
But
we didn't know that a year ago.
Right.
But kind of think of it like Street Fighter V for PlayStation didn't do super hot, and then I can understand that next year, the following year after Street Fighter V came out, they will announce something like this. I think Switch was just unexpected because people didn't expect Capcom to support Nintendo like that back to back with Switch. To release that one game. And not release like Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite or anything. They didn't do like no kind of follow-up. So it's kind of weird that...
I don't think anybody was sad that MVC Infinite didn't come to Switch.
I mean, because Resident Evil Revelations 1 and 2, I forgot about that. I just didn't expect them to.
You also forgot about Dre.
Which one?
Dre.
Oh. Send him by
Corey
the house.
Got it.
Send him by. I didn't hear you say Dre. Still, that's why. I was about to say, they were sitting by the house with the gasoline and still no one found out.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, but that was just unexpected on their part. I expect something new from Capcom. That's what I kind of want. But, I mean, a 12-game arcade collection, like the actual arcade, I'll take it.
I'd like some actual new stuff from most of the studios.
I would just like some Resident Evil on Switch besides Revelations. Give me the good Resident Evil games.
Right.
Not that Revelations is bad,
haven't gotten like one last port of RE4 at this point.
No, there's a rumor. Dude, there's some rumor thread going around that somebody's like, yeah, Resident Evil 1 through 6 will be on, or 0 through 6 will be on Switch within the next 9 months. And I'm like, well, there's your answer. Guess I'll be buying 3 of those games again.
I mean, the bad thing about all these Resident Evils coming out, like really nobody has picked them up. Like the re-releases of 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, pretty much 4 and 5.
I think the only ones people care about those 1 and 4. Nobody cares about 5 or 6. Like, I'm not trying to be mean, but nobody cares about 5 or 6. Like,
right? Well,
it's just, and I mean, they're fine games. They're just like not what people want out of Resident Evil.
5.
I didn't really mind 6. I thought it was just more 5.
Yeah,
which is like
spooky stuff. Can I get a port of Eternal Darkness now?
Well,
oh man,
that depends on who Nintendo works with to do that port.
Also, can I finally get a new Dead Space, please?
Someone needs to buy that IP.
Masters Nuts, you might get Dead Space 1 and 2 again, and then they might throw that all Dead Space 3 in. package.
I'd buy it just on the principle that I support the concept of getting a new Dead Space. That being said, I'm still really excited. I was super excited this last week, actually, too, because the guys working on Scorn just posted a big update. And Scorn looks fucking awesome. Like, if you like Dead Space and you like the Metroid Prime games, Scorn kind of looks like those two fucked and had a kid.
Nice.
It's awesome.
What was the one for DS? Like Scourge? It was like that.
No, Scourge. There was Scourge Hive, but that was like an isometric Metroid game almost.
Yeah, I wonder what happened to those developers. Like, I
don't know, but I have the game.
I have awesome. It too on DS. Did it come out for DS and Game Boy?
Mm-hmm. It did. It was originally in development for the GBA, and then the DS came out, and they ported it, but they brought out both versions anyways.
Okay. I think I've probably seen the DS one more, and then I guess the GBA
one was far less common.
Okay. I mean, the game is a bit difficult at times, but it's really good. I really like it.
It's supposed to be. I adored it. I thought it was fantastic.
Did you ever get to finish it, or?
Yes, I was quite proud of myself. Thank you very much.
How long is that game?
Less than 10 hours.
Okay.
Maybe between 6 and 8, depending on how good you are. They do a great job of keeping the pressure on, of like forcing you from one save point to the next.
Yeah.
And I love that. That was awesome.
I kind of wonder if they remade it or if they put it out on 3DS, how it'll play with the analog stick. I'm like, I wonder, would it be better, or would they have to like redo the animation?
Help. It could help.
Okay. But that's what I've been playing. I'm sorry for getting off.
I gotta dig out my copy of Scourge Hive. Thanks, Dick.
What? That game is good. It should have got.
It is, but I've got other shit to play. But now I have to like.
You said you was gonna
satisfy a compulsion.
You was going to be playing retro games anyway. Oh, and Graceful Explosion Machine. I was playing. Been turning my C's into B's. Trying to get that up.
Gonna get that S rank.
If I could, if I could get the A, I'll be fine with that mug.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot, I still need to get fast RMX. That and Thumper I need to get. I was like, this is on sale, and then I realized that.
Oh, God.
Yeah. See it on sale, be like, I need to buy this, get distracted, and then the sale go off, and be like, dang it, I was supposed to buy this thing. Hey.
You know what I did? I just I just set a great big fucking wish list.
Yeah, I did
once
too.
A week, I'll check the wish list just to see what on the list is on sale.
Yeah, I got my wish list on there. I made one. I got to update it though. There were some new games that came out on it. That I need to put. Now go ahead, Larry.
What did I play this week? This week I played the Flame in the Flood IRL edition. My week kind of went horribly sideways. I have some friends staying with us because they were flooded out of their house on Wednesday. They woke up to a solid 2 feet of water in their house.
In which I couldn't. My mind is still boggled with that. I was
yeah, Eddie saw the fucking pictures. It's bad.
I thought he lived in an area that would not flood.
No, he's like a block from the fucking river, dude.
Wow.
The river totally overran everything.
Oh, and I'm going to punch both of y'all when I see y'all next time. How dare you message me both at the same time with that piece of chicken? Is that the same place?
Yeah, we were all there for brunch together today.
The one from the gas station, right?
Oh, yeah, Porta Pit.
Yeah. Did they get new boxing? Like, is it?
Apparently.
Yeah, because I was looking up like, I know we.
Yeah, normally it's just a plain styrofoam.
Right, but it looked like that was new. I I don't know about the potato. I think like the sides look like they were in a new thing too.
Yeah, they are.
Reason. So the
I was surprised they were out this early this year, though.
Was it by the one gas station that we go to?
Yep, it was down there at the marathon.
Yes.
So, but in any case, so yeah, that's been a big part of my week is helping them deal with all that. In any case, I did finish Rime today, actually. The ending was better than I expected. I did not hate Chapter 4. I thought Chapter 4 was gorgeous. I loved the aesthetic in Chapter 4. Chapter 4 had just this magnificent heartbreak in it. Watching the walkers sacrifice themselves so that you could progress further after this beautiful moment, this happy moment in Chapter 3 where, you know, you give birth to a walker from a fucking tree, and it's awesome. And it's gorgeous. These magnificent creatures. And, you know, I loved it. Like I said, the final chapter was not what I expected. Mm-hmm. I think it actually leaves an odd question in the air.
That's why I feel like that piano just accompanied to it before you like actually finish the game. I just think it was probably one of the best scores that I heard in 2017. Just that one of the I was just like, man, this is so good.
It wasn't until the final part of Chapter 3 that I think the music and the beginning part of Chapter 4 mm-hmm. that I think the music really stood out. Because in that final part of Chapter 3, when you've got all the walkers, you know, marching along, at that point, it's not exactly scripted, mm-hmm. but it is a metered pace, if you will, for lack of a better term. But at that point, the music punctuates everything much better than the first couple of chapters did.
Yeah,
and then the same thing with the beginning of 4 when they're all marching along into the doors.
I think that's why I felt like, personally, just to me, that the music helped tells the story, like drives it, like progresses it, but also feels like that is the narrative for some reason. Just the music alone.
Yeah. But yeah, the big question, though, that I was left with at the end of Chapter 5, at the end of the game, was, you know, at this point, and if you haven't played it yet and you don't want to know, cover your ears for the next 30 seconds. Were you actually playing as the child dying, or were you playing as the father going through the stages of grief?
You was playing as the child dying.
Are you sure?
Yep.
How do we know that this isn't what the father was envisioning?
No, because you know nothing about the father, and when you're fighting certain things within the game with the son, you see that shadow with the red hood on it, which is their mother. So there's like a story behind there with the child. And so when he falls into the pit and everything and he lands, it's just like he's coming through for it. Because the child is going through the process of like a purgatory and accepting that he's died. And then the father, you know, he's dealing with the heartbreak, but we don't get North's perspective of the father and the son even going on that trip. And why that little red scarf part is very important to the game, to the story. So you're playing as the child, and it's all from his perspective, going through all of that stuff.
Anyways.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. The toys the things that he meet, the father really doesn't know what that pertains to, where the kid knows that this was his childhood and everything, and why those things are important. So that's why you see the fox and a pterodactyl and stuff.
But yeah, overall, not bad. I may, if I find it cheap at some point in the future, grab the Switch copy, just to put in my shelf. Like I said, I played it on Xbox One just through Game Pass because I had a 2-week trial. So, but not bad. It's not anything I think I'll revisit anytime soon. Once felt like enough.
What depends on if you're trying to get like the achievements.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care. I'm not hunting that shit down. Fuck it. So
I think it'll be a good story a good game to revisit within like 2 years, 2 or 3 years, depending on if you own it.
Maybe, but that's not anytime soon. So I'm okay with that. I did work on Celeste some more. I actually put some effort into it finally. Last I had stopped, I was somewhere around the middle of chapter 1, and I'm now at the beginning of chapter 3, so I'm starting the wind level. First and foremost, fuck your pragmatism, Madeline. Fuck your pragmatism. What a pain in the ass. Jesus. I wanted to laugh at the hotel. I couldn't quite get there. Like, the hotel wasn't bad and the character was okay. Like, I knew they wanted something in there to be a little funny, but it just didn't get there for me, and that disappointed me a little bit in the writing. But that aside, I don't want to climb your goddamn mountain. But now I'm like halfway there, and I now have to finish. Fuck this game. What's wrong with me? I was going to play some Halo 5 this week and give it an actual fair shake, but again, flood. Everything went wrong. Sick. But in any case, also just started playing Super Beat Sonic on my Switch, and fuck me, that's going to take some getting used to. Like, I've been playing rhythm games for, 15 years. This is going to take some serious fucking getting used to get the hang of. Like, I like the layout. It's neat. It's really cool. But, man, there's a lot going on. So, I mean, it's not as nerve-wracking, clearly, as Thumper. But, man, is it fucking busy. So, but that's been most of what I've played this week.
Yeah, I actually wonder how rhythm games will work on Switch.
There's several already.
But you got to play them. Are they? You can play them in
VOIS is handheld only.
Huh? Oh.
VOIS is handheld only. Everything else is either or.
That's the VOE, right?
Yeah, VOIS.
Oh, VOES. Okay. I was wondering about that, if that was a rhythm game, because it doesn't look like it for some reason.
It is. I think there's a demo out now, too, by the way, actually. You may want to check that.
Yeah, I want to check it out. It's probably one of those games that you really got to have headphones for and listen to.
Yeah. Also, that being said, too, the physical version of Super Beat Sonic was actually cheaper than the digital version. So,
dang.
Fuck. Paid $30 instead of $40. And it just got a great big update with a bunch of new songs. For free.
Nice.
Update.
Freebies.
Bow chicka bow. Updates for free. New songs.
More content.
Content for free. Unless you're Konami and then you charge $10 for a save slot.
That sounds like Family Guy. When they're singing that song, the four.
Corey, I'm going to cut this out. That's our new intro music from now on for the show.
Okay. You're welcome. Oh, boy.
What have we done?
I don't know. Dude, for having a weekend off for once in my life, this has been just a long week.
Yeah. But I'm not working at the moment, and this week I've had no fucking free time.
Is that how it works when you're supposed to have free time? You never have any?
Pretty much. Like, a whole fucking week went out the fucking window without me being able to accomplish a goddamn thing that I wanted to.
Oh, no.
So, anyways. So, news this week. We apparently went back in time about 20 years because we've started blaming school shootings on video games again.
Yeah, that's, Sure.
Hadn't heard that one in a while, and I had to stop and go, wait, did they say what I fucking think they just said?
Yeah. Man, it's been
Kentucky.
Like, I had to rewind the fucking video.
It's been one of those weeks around here because, like,
can I? I'm sorry, Corey.
It's fine. Go. No.
If we're gonna blame video games about the mass shooting, we actually can blame the NRA because they got 2 PlayStation 1 games. So can we blame them also because they're part of the problem since they got a video game?
Sure.
At this point, apparently you can just blame anybody you fucking want, whether there's anything to back it up or not.
Right.
So I'm going to start blaming Oprah Winfrey.
Did you see what Trump said? He said there should be a rating system or something.
And why everybody in the world looked at him just like, there is.
You mean the way everybody looks at him all the time?
Pretty much,
to be fair, half the parents that are buying their kids games probably don't know it either.
Yeah, I saw this video that pretty much sums up
every game store.
Every game store ever, and it was like this mom on her cell phone, and this probably 7 or 8 year old girl walked up to the
girl. She put Kid as 1, 2, and 3.
Yep. Yeah,
those
and
game titles were fantastic.
And Shooter Slut 7 or something. I'm like, what is happening here?
I really felt like this scene needed to be done by the guy that played Randall Graves from Clerks. Like, I feel that was the character that we needed to revisit for this sketch.
But I think parents know what they're buying for the kids.
Of course they fucking don't.
They know because they have bought some of those games for kids before. And so when retailers tell them, this is an N-rated game and this is what's contained in it, because some parents don't have a clue about certain hobbies. So they ask 15 million questions on what it's about. And you tell them what it is,
I'll tell you what it is. It is what it is what it is.
Parents have bought Call of Duty and Grand Theft Auto for their kids many times, so they know what to expect. It ain't nothing new.
Yeah, and it's like my wife and I had this discussion about well, how is our kid going to consume media, and what are they going to do, and we kind of everybody needs to take responsibility and educate. That's the biggest thing is educating people on. If you don't know that games have a rating system, I don't know how you teach parents how to have it, but I don't know, teach your kids that, maybe set limits on what games they play until they're a certain age, or if they want a violent game, you make sure they know that what they're doing is not, not. I don't really know how do this, but
Nintendo has a video with Bowser and Bowser Jr. on how to do parental controls from your smartphone. Research. It's not even that.
But that's hard. That's effort.
But if you could get on Google, why can't you not get on YouTube?
Because I don't know. I don't even know what to tell you. I was when my parents babysit my cousin's kids, They are on the iPad and on YouTube. They're 4 and 7. Like, they're on YouTube watching stuff. And one moment he's looking at like Legos and stuff, and just by the sheer recommended videos on YouTube, he clicks through, and all of a sudden he gets to that. I don't know if you guys saw it, but that fan-made Darth Maul video where he's like literally murdering like 20 Jedi out in the woods. And I'm just like,
no, but I'm going to need a link to that now.
How do you like? How do you even come across that when you're looking at Star Wars Lego figures and then you work your way 3 to 4 videos? I don't know. It's it's so hard because so many. I'm sure the stuff influences everything. I'm sure everything influences everything at some point, but at the same time, it's like, look, kids that are shooting up their schools, do they want attention? Are they mentally ill? Do they come from a good or a bad home? Do they come from, are they bullied? Are they like, you have to take everything into consideration. And are they being educated correctly about the things that are right, like morally right and wrong, and not just like history and math and science? Like, we had, like, when I was in school, and I'm sure you guys did too, we had DARE, which taught us about the dangers of drugs, right?
Yeah.
Why don't they do something like that for guns and weapons? And
because they feel like the NRA is going to get involved and say something. So,
well, that's
because in order to teach a child to properly respect a weapon of that variety, you would have to teach them how to use it.
Well, with the senator, even with Trump and them blaming video games, like right now, it's falling on deaf ears. No one is listening to that. I think with the CNN town hall, with people walking out of schools and young people voicing their voicing their opinion of what they believe, any excuse that they're going to say and use is not good enough. These kids now are trying to force these adults, these politicians, that you got to do something. Because if they're at the legal age of voting, they will go and vote you out. They're getting ready to vote these folks out.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I don't even know how you would fix this type of issue. It's just going to be one of those issues that's around forever just because. And like, it doesn't matter if there's gun laws or not. Somebody's going to get their hands on guns if they want them anyway.
Well,
it's
the same. A lot of us, from the black community, we're still trying to say, why don't these schools don't have metal detectors? Like, we were forced to have metal detectors because of a gang shooting at a school in California. We all got forced that we had to have it in the urban areas. So after Columbine happened, why some schools like that still don't have metal detectors? You got 1,500 kids going to your school and you still don't have metal detectors to protect yourself from this? Like, we was getting searched. We would go through, get our bags searched, get like we were at the airport. We was getting all of that searched. Why are they not doing that at these other schools, upper class schools, I should say?
Because that shit's expensive.
You got enough money to get a football field, but not enough money to pay for that?
Of course not. Because sports. Don't you know how white parents feel about fucking sports? Hell, don't you know how black parents feel about fucking sports?
They rely on it to get their kid to college.
Exactly. That's why they've got a fucking football field. That's their ticket out.
Pretty much. But sometimes the football field don't even be looking janky. Be like, use what you got. But
I didn't say it was a good football field. I just said it was a football field.
But I'm just like, they invested that money in a lot
sure,
of black
shit ain't
schools.
getting AstroTurf.
Oh, that's true. I mean, they invested a lot of money for these black schools to have metal detectors. And still to this day, I don't know if the Columbine has it. I don't know if Parkland now is going to have it. Like, me and Corey was talking about that school by close to your old job. Like a 7-year-old is dead now because he was trying to do the same thing. He had it on the bus with him. He was able to walk in his elementary school and could have did something if he was able to build his long rifle and go out and shoot people. That would have been another mass murder, another mass shooting. A 7th grader. How the heck you a 7th grader and you able to walk into school just like that?
How are you able to get on a bus with something like that? Like what Ed's talking about, like that. This was literally like 30 minutes from where I live. It was a school that I'm very familiar with. We played them in sports when I was in school. Like sports. I've been to that school probably 75, 80 times in my lifetime, and like. That is not a school that you would think that would ever happen in. It's like very rich, preppy, white school. Like that's how.
Have you not noticed the running theme here?
I know, I know, but I'm saying like
none of this happens at the fucking interurban schools.
I know. I'm just saying like if you were in this area, like you would think, oh wow, that happened there, like that kind of mentality, and it's like it's just scary, man. It's sad, and like a couple days later, like 2 kids and my cousin is in 10th grade at school about 10 minutes from where that happened, and 2 of her classmates were found in the wood dead. 2 of them, like a homicide, suicide, or a double suicide. That I don't know if they came out and said what it was, but it's just like it's terrifying to think like those. My cousin knew those kids, and she was friends with these kids, and like now it's like, I don't know, man. I don't understand like what is happening because, I mean, I just remember Columbine when I was in school being a huge deal, but I don't remember a ton of like copycat stuff happening afterwards, and I don't know if I just wasn't paying attention or
I think after Columbine, I think it was maybe 4 or 5 years that since another mass shooting had happened at a high school, or
I'm feeling like
I think it was the college one, the Asian college student. Then they were Counter-Strike and all of that. It was just like really.
Oh yeah, I remember that when that happened in Virginia or whatever.
Virginia Tech.
I'll tell you what. As soon as I get my new rig up and running, I'm going to play through Super Columbine RPG. We're going to have a discussion about whether or not it's too soon.
Well, shoot, I already did that on Optional Opinion, so.
I've seen it. I've not actually played all the way through it and experienced it, and I feel like it is relevant again if the world is going to go through this fucking conversation again.
I mean, I know, like, you kind of said that like half jokingly, but like, what if games start tackling real subjects like this?
Oh, I know. That's why I'm saying.
Well,
that was part of the big ruckus when Super Columbine RPG first came out, was the debate between is this too soon or not to talk about this.
Well, it was the same thing with Hatred. You know, people when they found out what the premise was, people were just like, no. But, you know, it came up on Steam. People bought it. There was a big controversy of it, but I don't know how well it sold. But people were just like, the game is kind of garbage. It's like mediocre average. You know, it's weird that people get offended about video games that deals with mass shooting, but not offended when PETA used to take Nintendo products and do the same thing. Like,
I get offended by everything PETA does because PETA is fucking stupid. The only thing PETA is good for is wrapping up my Euro.
Wow.
Bam.
Yeah.
But no, this does raise another good question though. Is, you know, does a game have to be good in order to justify its existence if it tackles a heavy subject.
Yes. The thing that's going to move it with some good gameplay is going to be the narrative. If the narrative gets the point across and it's memorable to create a conversation, then it's kind of did its job. It's done its purpose. But if it comes out and we don't talk about it, we address more of the controversy than actually talking about the topic, then it doesn't do nothing. It doesn't matter.
Well, I'm just saying, though, do they get no credit for trying to tackle the subject? Even if they couldn't nail the gameplay, should there be an A for effort for somebody trying to broach that subject in a medium where that's not the norm at this point in time?
If they could get the media not to focus on any of the violence, and it actually
that'll never happen.
Right. And see, that's the thing, and that's the thing about it, that even though they would try hard and they done their best, some of the media outlets like to focus on the violent scenes and use that as a news story. Or people would like to do YouTube videos, blogs about it. They would like to use the violence that's portrayed in it, but they would never talk about the narrative of what the game is trying to portray. Just because of
there's always going to be that sect that remains intentionally ignorant of what's going on.
Yeah, that is true.
That'll never change. But for those of us that are not,
mm-hmm.
Even if it failed in terms of gameplay, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's invalidated for at least trying to start the discussion.
Like I said, if the narrative is strong, yeah, I will give it up to people who are trying to do it in a creative way to address a topic. If they could get it where the violence or the gameplay is not the focus, but the theme of the game, what they're trying to portray, makes a big discussion, then it has done its job. Like, if Fox News cannot pull up any gameplay, but they're able to talk about this game in whatever manner they want to talk about, but, it's not focusing on any violent scenes or stuff, then it's kind of, in a way, did its job. Because
I will say, I can think of an example that got a little too close to real, apparently, for one publisher's comfort. You got to go back a number of years, but remember, was it 6 Days in Fallujah got canceled because that got a little too real.
A lot of people felt that it was too close to home because a lot of those people didn't get to mourn about the soldiers that was lost. And people was kind of still feeling about the game because the Konami dropped them.
And shame on them for fucking dropping them and not having the fucking stones to put that out, because that could have been the thing that broke the barrier and said, this medium is an okay way to begin to have this discussion.
Right. It's okay for us to talk about fictional stuff, but nothing that's factual.
And that's another, it's not like this medium has not been used for some of that conversation, for serious topics. You go back about a year and a half and you look at That Dragon Cancer.
Yeah, I was about to say the same game.
So, it's possible there, and it.
But I think
you've got to have a publisher that's willing to stick their neck out on the line and stand behind it.
I think That Dragon Cancer, yes, that game was kind of made for that family and for that father to get his feelings and viewpoint and emotions out. I think what happened with that game is that you do get caught up in the emotional portrayal and not kind of see it for its full purpose and full benefit, because it's something of a dad's kind of memorandum of his dying son. But if you read stories about that game from people who played it at PAX and stuff, they were just like, it's something emotional and touch. And I don't know how long lasting that is. You feel emotional, but then you move on. I think that Dragon Cancer, if even though it may be emotional, if that could make you realize what cancer patients are going through and doing more research and why probably visiting patients and stuff like that is important, you know, the research and donating and stuff, like people who are, if that game could do a stuff like that for a lot of people that's just feeling emotional, I think Dragon Cancer really would have got its point across.
Yeah.
I thought it got its point across, but maybe that's just me.
I think,
maybe that's the danger of this medium for having this conversation, is so much of it can be interpretive.
Yeah, it really is.
You run the risk of somebody taking what you were trying to convey and not understanding it. And I think, as a matter of fact, a perfect example of this is listen to almost any conversation anybody has ever had with Jonathan Blow. You know, he talks about the fact that he uses this medium to express something that can only be expressed through this medium. Mm-hmm. And when he hears somebody try and say, this is what I think it means, the answer is always, you got part of it, but you're missing the important part.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've never heard him say once that somebody 100% understood what I was trying to explain or convey, and that's just as much of a pertinent danger.
I think, and that's why it's important to play a game in full, whether you like it or not. Playing it in full without having people spoil it, and then maybe a month after the game has been out, then get your thoughts and be able to converse about it, because you don't really want to spoil it like 2 weeks after the game came out. You kind of want to give it time. I think you really need to play.
Yeah, but as soon as you finish it, that's when you want that conversation, is immediately after.
You do, but stuff like that, it kind of has to happen in a private matter where you don't want to put anything up on social media in a public for people to read it and feel like it's spoiled. You know, it's kind of changed right now. But like, Larry, if I came down to you and we talked about, let's say, the loneliness of Samus Aran when she's on her hunt, and we're just talking about loneliness and stuff, if we don't want to spoil all of Super Metroid or anything like that for people who haven't played it, let's just say Super Metroid just came out and we played it and stuff. We don't want to spoil it on a social media platform for people who are interested in the game. But me and you can have that personal one-on-one time talking about it and explaining and have our discussions about it. But like after,
I don't know. I still think there's a lot of things in there. Just using that as an example, or even any game, I still think there's a lot of things in a game that you can talk about without it having to be screamed at as spoilers.
Yes,
you know
that
I can sit there and explain why this game, what gives this game its atmosphere, its moodiness, without spoiling anything crucial or even moderately plot-centric to the game. You know, there's something to be said for setting an expectation for somebody. You know, say, hey, should I pick up a copy of this game? And why? At that point, you've got to tell them something about it.
Well, yeah, you can. I think the themes, you sometimes don't want to spoil for people, or sometimes some scenes that happen in the game that it has a theme, but you have to describe what happens in it, you know, and people don't want that the description to be spoiled for them. They're cool talking about loneliness, but they don't want to talk about, you have to run through this empty hall, you meet this, and you find these dead people, and all of that. Like, they don't want to hear that kind of description stuff. For some people, I'm just saying.
Yeah. But, in any case, so yeah, that's the thing. Video games are not to blame. Fuck all you.
Yeah, if you're still using that logic as an adult, it doesn't work anymore.
I got away from that for quite a while, though. It was either going to be...
You know what it was?
I think what I'm more surprised at, that it took this long to come back around, or that it did come back around. That's what I'm trying to figure out. What I'm actually surprised about.
This is the
maybe this administration finally got around to playing Night Trap.
Yeah, but this is the weird thing. That okay, so you want to blame a shooting on M-rated games? Okay, so was Leland Yee playing Grand Theft Auto when he got caught with his crime organization with the Chinese mafia? Because
he was playing Yakuza, dumbass.
Yakuza. Speaking of, like the video game crimes that you think a kid would do, how are you a senator of a state and you get caught with that kind of crime? Like, if you are adults and a political figure and you doing crimes worse than what's being done in a video game, it's not the young kids playing them doing them. It has to be y'all adults. Older adults.
So, yeah, that's, it makes me wonder what other real hard topics that this medium could be good for starting the conversation on that it hasn't. I mean, I've got one or two things that crop to mind that pertain to certain individuals, but, or they crop to mind because I know certain individuals that have experienced these things, mm-hmm. and I'm just trying to picture, what that would be like, what their game would look like if they chose to have that conversation in that manner.
They should make a gun store simulator or have a gun shop where instead of when you go to the practice range, since they want to use M-rated games, teach you on how to shoot a gun. Only way that you could shoot something is you have a control pad. You don't actually shoot no guns.
No.
I mean, maybe a good way to educate too. Like, instead of giving kids physical guns, maybe a VR simulator or I don't know. Look, I just.
Before you go, there are parents who still think that you could buy a cap gun at a toy store. And it's illegal for toy stores to sell that. That's why you got all these bunker guns with Nerf. Because if you pull out a cap gun as a kid, if a cop sees that, like that one kid, he actually got shot because he pulled out a cap gun. And there are parents who still, which is like, do you guys sell this anymore still? And they don't sell old Wild Western and Magnum looking guns. They don't sell that no more because a lot of cops will get confused that it's a real gun and there could end up killing the kid.
Yeah.
Oh, but go ahead, Corey. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Oh, I didn't really have anything else to say. I was just trying to figure out a smart way to educate people on guns without actually putting the guns in their hands. I don't know. It's just, look, if you're a parent listening to this or a kid that, has some kind of interest in guns, because I'm not really opposed to people owning weapons. I just if you're going to use them and you're going to own them, educate yourself or educate your kids about it. Like, this stuff is dangerous and sad when stuff like this happens. And I feel for those kids in Florida. I feel for the kids in this area. I feel for everyone that this has happened to. And mm-hmm. I feel like every time something like this happens, everybody has the same conversation for about a week and a half, and then there's no more discussion about it, right? And I really give it to those kids in Florida who are really actually trying to do something about it. I don't know if anything's going to get done, but they're the first. Me and my wife were talking about it at dinner tonight. This is the first time we've seen a group of kids after this happens actually take a stand and go after what they want done, and that's how the stuff's going to get done. It's not going to be, politicians who are endorsed by these places. It's not going to be by, a president that would rather golf instead of go tell these families how sad this is. It's not going to happen like that. It's going to be these kids. It's going to be their families. It's going to be people who follow these people to go do stuff and just educate yourself and make sure you're being smart about it and and parents, please educate your kids on this stuff and let them know how truly dangerous this stuff is.
Yeah, like activism is good. When
Activision is bad.
Activism, not Activision.
I know. I'm saying.
Well,
Activision
good.
Half of Activision is good. I like Blizzard.
I could say this: when I went with Larry for the first time, when coming to see him, we went to a gun store.
Larry
let me shoot a gun. I was bad at it, but I had fun. It was a good
training in Contra. You were bad at it, Ed.
Yeah. It was a good experience that I had. And
but it changed your understanding. Looking back at it, though, in the conversation that we had, realizing that what you had in your head was way off the mark from the reality of actually having a firearm in your hand.
Yeah, well, yeah. I think with me, because of in the neighborhood that I live in and other neighborhoods that we live in, definitely just my city, we don't have a gun store like you guys have. You could go to Bass Pro Shop or Walmart, but like a full gun store,
there's no actual range.
Right. There's nothing like that. And because there's so much crime or violence happening in some of the ghettos and urban areas, a black person having a gun will make you think, will really be like, kind of staying away. Where if a white person have a gun, it's so acceptable and there's no question about it. So when we went there and we had that talk with that gun owner, it was really good to not argue or anything, but to hear that side, to be educated, because I'm like, you kind of got to understand. You got to kind of understand that if you were growing up in my area, you would have a different viewpoint of guns than if I grew up in your area.
Right.
So the gun control,
which is another discussion for another day. Which is like, why do we have that discussion about where we live and how we were, like the areas we grew up in? Like, why would we even have that discussion these days too? Like,
yeah, stereotypes and assumptions.
Why is everything so backwards? I thought we were on this global track of everything kind of going this way and being progressed, and now it's just kind of like it's not even like a decline. It's just like a straight down motion.
Stuff is being revealed. And regardless of how you see it and how you view it, I think that we was in a time of such peace and unity, and everybody, just coming together. Like, things were, like you said, were on the right track. And I think right now at this pivotal moment that divide has become like a big part of people's social life and viewpoints and stuff and discussion, that is separating a lot of people nowadays. And all that work of peace and unity that we had in the past, it's just now falling apart. So, and it's sad.
Well, this got way serious and way off track for way too long. But in any case, that's probably the biggest news story in games this week. Is just we took a 15-year step backwards. Holy shit. Fucking takes your breath away.
Yeah. But I think with these young kids and stuff, I think hopefully in the future stuff starts to change for the better.
Well, like I said, I'm going to keep my politics out of it at this point. But, yeah. I'm trying to think if there's any other just amazing fucking news stories, but that's
pretty much it.
That's the one that's stuck in my craw with the week that I fucking had. So, in other news, you still cannot pre-order the physical copy of Owlboy yet. I've been trying.
Not true. Weeks. It's on Amazon right now.
Does Amazon finally have it?
Yep, $29.99.
Switch?
Yep, I'll send you the link.
I need that. I'm looking right now. I've been going to GameStop off and on for the last couple of weeks, and just every time they're like, "New."
Yep, it's up there. I checked today. I actually checked before we started recording.
One word or two? It's one word, isn't it?
It's one.
I'm searching and it's not pulling up.
Hold on. Sometimes it doesn't come up right away. Here, I'm sending it to you in the Facebook chat, Larry.
Yeah. Do that. I need that.
Where are you? It's probably
I'm right here.
Larry Giver, Edward Varnell, huh?
Yeah, those. So, yeah, other than that,
oh, there you are. Okay.
In housekeeping news, I am hoping that we will have a episode to put out next week, but I can't guarantee it as I will be out of the state.
Ooh.
Yeah,
road trip.
I'm not. No road trip. Yeah. I am not excited about this.
Airplane ride.
Yeah, we're flying to
boat
fucking
ride.
Arizona.
Ooh, dry heat.
You and wifey finally leaving this weekend?
I don't care if it's dry heat. It's still bullshit.
Scorpions.
Fucking hate the heat.
Larry, please dress up like Scorpion and lay in the desert for me, please. Please cosplay
like
Scorpion and
go just float in my wife's sister's pool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Please do the get over here motion to a cactus.
Or do the kids in the hall. I'll squish you.
Oh, God. All right. I now need to figure out how to get this to come up in my Amazon search. Anyways. All right. Well, I think that covers it. We've probably gone on quite long enough, especially considering the subject matter got a little heavy-handed, and I don't want to drag that on for way too long. In any case, that being said, as always, you can find us at our home on ShoutEngine.com, on iTunes and Google Play Music. Make sure you head up to YouTube's where there's some fun, new, exciting stuff in the works. That's the delightful NGR channel, along with all their other spectacular content that they have up there. Everything from the original NGR show to Pow Block, and oh God, we have Nerds Gone Platinum and Arsenal X and all the other fun things. So make sure you check all that out. Subscribe to pages, put us in your RSS feed, all that good stuff. You know, click the like buttons and leave some ratings and some comments and, you know, all those other obligatory social media please things.
Oh, can I say one thing, Corey? I mean, and Larry, I'm sorry, guys. Guys, go check out We the Game, Gamescast. I was a special guest with Sean Capri. We had a good discussion about religion and games, and pretty much just about me. I'm sorry. I had to.
Also, I do want to plug the Metroid expansion pack that we did. By the time this goes up, that episode will air.
Oh, that was a good one.
Oh my gosh. Ed and I were talking about what if Metroid Prime had a multiplayer mode, and then we spun it off into its own game.
Why did you not invite me for this either?
You have to hear it, Larry.
Why was I not involved?
I don't know.
Because what we originally talked about spun a different way after one game. And then it spun after that. When you hear it, when you watch it, I know this is going to pop in your mind, Larry.
It was a good discussion, though. It got real strange, but
it literally could have been an episode of Power Block itself.
Probably. So.
All right. Well, boys and girls, that's it for us. We'll see you potentially next week.
All right, everybody. See you next time on World 101 Podcast. Bye.
Bye. Maybe the game room will be clean next time.